Some people spend their whole lives waiting for their big break. Richard Goodall didn't even know his was coming. At 55 years old, Richard was a janitor in Terre Haute, Indiana, humble, hardworking, and quietly carrying a gift that few knew about. Every day, he walked the halls of West Vigo High School, pushing a mop and offering a smile. He wasn't famous, he wasn't flashy, but he had something special. A voice. And one day, that voice changed everything. It started like any ordinary school event. In 2022, during a student celebration, Richard was asked to perform a song. He chose a classic, Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. There were no spotlights, no sound engineers, and no grand stage. Just Richard, a microphone, and a cafeteria full of teenagers. But when he opened his mouth to sing, something magical happened. A student recorded the moment and uploaded it online. It wasn't a polished performance. It wasn't rehearsed, but it was real, raw, emotional, and straight from the heart. That authenticity struck a chord with viewers across the country. The video began circulating on social media, eventually picked up by local news outlets like Fox and ABC. But the real turning point came when AGT judge Howie Mandel shared the clip on TikTok with a simple but powerful caption, "This guy needs to be on AGT." The post blew up, garnering millions of views. Suddenly, Richard Goodall wasn't just a janitor, he was a viral sensation. Encouraged by his fiancée, Angie Vanoven, and the close-knit community of Terre Haute, Richard took a chance. He auditioned for America's Got Talent Season 18. But the journey didn't go as planned. He was eliminated early. A crushing disappointment after such a promising start. For many, that would have been the end of the road, but not for Richard. Angie, ever his biggest cheerleader, believed in him more than ever. She told him to try again and boldly predicted he'd get a golden buzzer the next time around. And on May 28, 2024, Richard did just that. Clad in his signature paperboy hat and holding the mic like it was an extension of his soul, Richard returned to the AGT stage. Once again, he chose Don't Stop Believin'. As the familiar notes began, a hush fell over the audience. But by the final chorus, they were on their feet, clapping and cheering. Then, bam! Heidi Klum slammed the golden buzzer, showering Richard in golden confetti. Simon Cowell called him his hero. It was official. America had fallen for the janitor with the golden voice. What followed was nothing short of a fairy tale. In the quarterfinals, Richard delivered a heartfelt rendition of Michael Bolton's "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?", dedicating the song to Angie. His vulnerability moved both the judges and viewers. In the semifinals, he amped things up with Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, showing grit and determination. But it was the grand finale that brought the house down. On September 17, 2024, Richard stepped onto the stage not as a contestant, but as a star. He was joined by Journey members Neil Schon, Dean Castronovo, and Todd Jensen for a powerhouse performance of Don't Stop Believin'. With pyrotechnics exploding and fans roaring, Richard hit every note like it was his last. It was a moment of triumph, not just for him, but for everyone who'd ever felt overlooked or underestimated. A week later, the results were announced. Richard Goodall had won America's Got Talent Season 19. He had bested acts like Drone Troop's Sky Elements and the adorable dog act Ronnie Sagi and Rhythm. It was the first time in 5 years a singer had taken the crown. And this time it wasn't a teenage prodigy or trained performer. It was a janitor from Indiana who dared to dream. You'd think the win and $1 million prize would be Richard's cue to leave his janitor job behind. But just 3 days after his victory, he was back at West Vigo High School, mop in hand, grinning from ear to ear. His return was met with cheers from students, a full-blown pep rally, and even the presentation of a key to the city. "I'm still a janitor," he told Today.com. "I'm still the same guy." That humility wasn't for show. It was a reflection of Richard's loyalty and character. He never forgot the people who supported him before the fame: his fiancée, his students, his community. His heart remained firmly rooted in Terre Haute. But don't mistake Richard's grounded nature for a lack of ambition. Since his AGT win, his schedule has been filling up fast. In November 2024, he sang the national anthem at an Indiana Pacers game. That was followed by a homecoming performance at Illinois State University and a headline appearance at a Holiday Lights Festival in California. Everywhere he went, audiences responded with standing ovations and thunderous applause. Richard's first big solo concert is set for January 19, 2025, at Pittsburgh's historic Palace Theater. For a man who once sang to empty classrooms, it's a surreal milestone. And it doesn't stop there. He's reportedly forming a band in Terre Haute and planning a national tour in collaboration with a Las Vegas-based music group. Dates are already booked for spring, and he's even been approached for corporate and private gigs. So what about that $1 million prize? Richard's been tight-lipped, and intentionally so. "We're not fancy people," he told Entertainment Weekly. He's well aware of how quickly money can disappear, especially for lottery winners or reality show champions. Instead of splurging on luxury, Richard appears to be making smart investments in his music career: studio time, travel, production, and promotion. He also received a brand new Kia EV9 as part of his prize package, but don't expect to see him cruising around in a Lamborghini. For Richard, the win wasn't about wealth. It was about opportunity. There's even talk of him and Angie becoming snowbirds, splitting their time between Indiana and warmer states. But Terre Haute, he insists, will always be home. As America's Got Talent gears up for its milestone 20th season in 2025, fans are already wondering, will Richard return? As a contestant, the answer is no. AGT rules don't allow previous winners to compete again. But guest performances? That's a different story. Past champions like Darcy Lynn have returned for special appearances, and given Richard's popularity and his viral origin story, it's likely he'll be invited back. With Mel B replacing Heidi Klum on the judges' panel and the show leaning into its legacy, a Richard Goodall encore would be a perfect tribute to AGT's transformative power. Richard's journey isn't just a singing success story. It's a testament to resilience, to second chances, to not giving up even after rejection. When he was cut from season 18, he could have walked away, but Angie didn't let him. His students didn't let him. And eventually, neither did America. In the days leading up to the AGT finale, Richard and Angie tied the knot in a quiet Malibu ceremony, surrounded by loved ones and a few AGT crew members. It was a peaceful, grounding moment amid the whirlwind, a reminder of what truly matters. Richard now jokes with students about sweeping the competition, but behind the humor is a powerful message. Never stop chasing your passion, because dreams don't have expiration dates, and greatness often comes from the most unexpected places. Today, Richard Goodall isn't just a janitor or even just a singer. He's a symbol of perseverance, of heart, of the quiet power in believing in yourself. His performances have racked up millions of views online. Fans call him a timeline cleanse, a breath of fresh air in a chaotic world. Whether he's singing God Bless the USA or bringing the house down with Don't Stop Believin', Richard's voice connects people to something deeper: hope. And as he embarks on this next chapter, filled with concerts, collaborations, and maybe even a few surprises, one thing is clear: Richard Goodall's story is far from over. And if there's one lesson we can all take from his incredible journey, it's this: never stop believing.